Welcome everyone, I'm Scott from Beyond the Fan, and today we're talking about post-drop strategies to make sure you don't make any mistakes on the marketplace. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an expert, it's just my advice and some things I've observed from watching others and from my own actions on the marketplace. So you can imagine after a drop's happened and the marketplace is opened back up, usually about 30 minutes after that drop, it's a very exciting time, opportunity to get a lot of cheap buys, also sell things at quite a high price, and potentially to buy things at a low price, hold on it for a short while and sell a bit later on for a bit more for that same day. So what I'm going to do is jump straight into it, and have got my phone synced up to the stream here. So basically, once the market opens, like I say, it's normally at 30-minute mark after the drop, you need to close down your app completely, reopen it in the marketplace if it's open, should be there. And once you go in, you need to kind of find what you're interested in looking at. So let's imagine this was just after the drop for Amazing Spider-Man number 50. You'd click on it, and you'd want to view. This is what I found the easiest way to do. Just click on any issue and go in, and you'll see here a couple of bits for price. But again, as this is just on the market, it'll fluctuate quite a lot at the start. And you also see the number of editions for sale in the market. Now this is slightly different from what you normally see, and this is one of the top tips straight away, is access the market for that item this way. For one main reason. First of all, this will give you access to all the variants of all the different issues of that particular comic. So all the variants of that particular comic. And what you can do here is rather than sort by high to low in terms of price, there's two things I like to do. You can search by listing date and the prior, and this will show what's been posted. And as you can see there straight away, we've got different variants of this comic showing up because it's looking at all variants of that comic. So it's a very good way of catching any of the latest sales, so any latest offerings going on for sale, as well as keep an eye on for any bargains. What can happen is someone might put in 1.5 rather than 1,500. So rather than going for 1.5k, it'll be going for 1.5 gems, and it'll show up here as a new listing straight away. And that's across all variants. Can't stress that enough. It means you don't have to go back and forth between different variants on the marketplace to find out what is the latest one here. You'll also notice you can also sort by price as a default. And again, when things are on the market, this works particularly well when they first appear, as you'll get a mixture of different varieties of variants. Because this has been out for a while when I'm recording this, all the columns will come up first because they've been pretty much the dominant amount on the market just now. If it was a post drop, if this was a post drop, you'd be able to kind of see new ones getting listed for ultra rare, etc. And if anybody did make that mistake of putting it at a lower price, you'll get to see that straight away. Also give you a good indication as you have those different variants come in of the different prices and the difference between each one. So that's really my first tip. I'd suggest you trying out is just going on the marketplace, accessing a comic, going down, view it all in the marketplace, seeing all the variants, and decide for you is it more important to get something that's cheap, or you want to see if you're wanting to get something that's a different variant, or if you want to see if someone's posted something at a lower price than you're expecting, so you can try and grab it. Now, because this is again recorded after the fact and it's been a few days, what you'll notice is when you can pull down like this to refresh, and it'll update. Because this is pre-recorded, it won't show any change now, but usually you'll get quite a lot of buying and selling on the first hour or so after a drop. So that's a good way of updating it. But a faster way to save you those milliseconds is just tap buy now, and it will automatically refresh your page regardless of how you got into it. So that's another good tip. That's my second tip, is just click the buy now in the marketplace there to refresh it, rather than having to swipe down to refresh it. And my third tip is if you look at the top here, which says the name of the comic, it gives you a total number of editions. So a good thing to watch for after a drop is people will be putting things up for a price, but not everyone has got their drop yet. So this is really important. This is tip number 3. When people are selling, they're selling based on what's available stock. In this case, quite often, still half of the actual comics or items have yet to be delivered to people, so we're still waiting on that green truck arriving with whatever collectible we've got. So that means there's less stock, less available on the marketplace. People can tend to try to sell a bit higher. Once more people actually go out, get their order alive to their phone, and go out and actually start putting on the marketplace if you choose to sell it. That will have an impact on the price as more become available. So really keep an eye on the total number available and compare that to the actual drop, so you can see actually how many commons have gone out, how many uncommons, etc. And my fourth tip would be, if you are interested in knowing in the marketplace how many have still left to be sent out to people, if you scroll down here on any variant, you'll see additions, and it says 0 out of 30,000 left because they've all been given out now because it's days after the fact. This was just after a drop. All this information would be updating, so you might see 15,000 left out of 30,000, for example. So just a good way of keeping an eye on that volume of comics or collectibles on the market that you can really be mindful of when looking at the price of gems. Quite often people try and snag something quite low and then try and flip it. That means selling it for a higher price very soon after buying it, within minutes, even seconds or hours. So my final tip would be, really think about and do your research. Look at VEVE Vault, look at VEVE Vision, look at my own channel, see what we were saying in terms of the number of mints and number of varieties if it's a first appearance, and that will help guide you in your own research as to what a potential price may be. Compare it to similar issues of that size and ones, if we're talking about comics, or similar collectibles in terms of status, and really just do a bit of comparison yourself to see actually what are other ones going for, are similar in size, similar in content in terms of first appearances, and decide for yourself what's your strategy. My kind of bonus tip would be, with all these things, think carefully before you commit. I know myself, when the market first opens, you kind of want to be keen to drop in and try and pick up things as quick as possible, but really think to yourself, two things: how much you're willing to spend and stick to that budget, and also you may have to find yourself when you actually go in to buy something, you have to scroll down a bit, because by the time you go in and click on the buy now button, it's sold out. So a good tip for me, I've tried quite a lot, is when you go into the actual marketplace here and you go into here, so this is just the default way, I wouldn't recommend doing it, but a good tip for me is when you go in is just look at scroll down a bit, and when this is a new drop, obviously you would pick maybe the 6th, 7th, 8th one further down, because it's very like, if you click the first one, by the time you get in there, unless you've got a really good connection, someone else is going to get it before you, and the price keeps going up and up, you're sort of chasing the floor. If you're willing to spend maybe 5-10 gems extra on top of the floor price, and you expect the price to go up beyond what you're paying for, then you will make more gems back if you do choose to sell it for a high enough price in the future. So that's my final bonus tip. So thank you for your time. Please do check out the rest of my channel. I've got some great videos there on how to kind of find the best strategy for your drop, how to find the hidden gems on the VEVE app. That's collectibles that are going to be very popular in my opinion, but people don't really seem to be buying them just now because there's so much drops happening, so much activity. So please do check it out. And finally, just a big thank you to everyone for taking the time to come on here and watch the video. A shout out to a few of my supporters in the comments, Darth Chaos, Rook001, and others like Jin and Cam Dan, and many others have been really supportive. Dodds View Exec, so many people have commented the past 2 weeks on my content. It's been fantastic for me. It's good to know that people enjoy this content. So the final word for me is, please check out my video on hidden gems as well as this latest video. It really helped myself and the channel out, and perhaps even yourself. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.